All right, guys, here we go. So now this is part 2. We're gonna continue where we left off. So basically here, what I want to do is I want to use identities for half angles. But before I do that, right, you see how we have sine squared x over 2 here? So just like when we have sine squared x, we can rewrite that as sine of x squared. Similarly, we can write this sine of x over 2 squared, and it looks like that. So this equals cosine of x over 2 squared. Now, sine of x over 2, so the stuff inside the parentheses is this. So that's the identity I want to use. And it's going to be plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine theta over 2 squared, because of this, equals, same thing, plus or minus the square root of cosine x over 2 is this one. So 1 plus cosine theta, oh, these should be x's, all over 2 squared. Now the beautiful thing about having these squared is that the square gets rid of the square root, and the plus or minus is now irrelevant because after squaring something, everything is positive, so we don't need a plus or minus anymore. That means all I have is 1 minus cosine x over 2 equals 1 plus cosine x over 2. Now, I can multiply both sides of this equation by 2. That will get rid of the denominators. I get 1 minus cosine x equals 1 plus cosine x. Subtract a 1 from both sides. Negative cosine x equals cosine x. Add cosine to both sides. So 0 is 2 cosine x, meaning cosine x is equal to 0. And now we have to ask ourselves, where is cosine equal to 0? Well, cosine is equal to 0 when x is equal to pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Right, so that's that one. The next one is this. What I have here is a sine of an angle minus sine of another angle. So here, that looks like number 2. So that's the one I'm going to use. I'm going to use number 2. Number 2, and I'm going to write that as sine A minus sine B is equal to 2, cosine, so just like this, A plus B over 2, 8x plus 2x over 2, sine 8x minus 2x over 2 is equal to 0. This will be 2 cosine 10x over 2 cosine 6x over 2 equals 0. 2 cosine 5x cosine 3x is equal to 0. So now, let me just write that over here. 2 cosine 5x cosine 3x equals 0. Now, I can cancel out the 2 because it divides out. Now I have cosine 5x equal to 0, cosine 3x equal to 0. Okay, cosine is 0 at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. That means 5x is equal to pi over 2. So remember, this entire angle must be pi over 2 for the cosine to be 0. So 5x is pi over 2. and 5x is 3 pi over 2. That means when I divide by 5, x is pi over 10, and x is 3 pi over 10. Here, if this entire angle is pi over 2, then cosine is 0. So 3x is pi over 2, 3x is 3 pi over 2. That means x is pi over 6, and here when I divide by 3, x is pi over 2. And to each of these, because I don't have an interval, I must add plus 2n pi, plus 2n pi, plus 2n pi, plus 2n pi. And that's how we do it. Okay, thank you for listening. See you next time.